This is the account of a husband who carefully recorded every detail after his wife announced she was single for a single evening. What followed turned into a powerful lesson about setting limits, gathering proof, and facing the fallout. Let's get into it. She hurled her marriage band straight at my chest and declared that she wasn't my spouse that night. I remained frozen in our Capitol Hill flat, observing the golden circle ricochet across the wooden planks, and a deep chill settled inside me. She snatched her handbag, banged the door shut, and her stilettos echoed along the corridor as though she were stepping toward liberation. Most men would have lost it, bombarded her with messages, or stayed awake hoping for a remorseful return. I retrieved the band, placed it beneath the bright kitchen fixture, and snapped 3 pictures from various perspectives. Next, I created a fresh directory on my device titled Proof. The reality about matrimony that no one mentions is this. The instant a partner discards the emblem of your bond and proclaims their independence, they've essentially delivered the full argument to you. At 29, after 4 years of marriage, I believed I understood what security meant. We connected during university, became engaged early, embraced that Capitol Hill professional lifestyle with the brick-exposed flat and weekend trips to the farmer's market. My role was in tech project coordination. Hers involved promotion at a local startup. Our existence appeared flawless online. Evenings cooking pasta, lazy Sundays with podcasts, the sort of partnership that earned relationship goals, remarks from friends. Yet roughly 2 months prior to that evening, subtle changes emerged that I struggled to pinpoint. She spent increasing time away, frequently with colleagues, returning past midnight reeking of liquor and nightlife. I've never been possessive, so I avoided confrontation. When I inquired about her outings, responses were curt before she headed directly to wash up. Suddenly her device required a code unknown to me. She openly erased conversations in my presence, no longer bothering to conceal it. I convinced myself this was temporary, perhaps a need for breathing room, that unions experience cycles, and this was merely difficult. In hindsight, I question how many warning signs one ignores before ceasing rationalizations. I was mistaken. That Friday, I prepared supper as always, creamy pasta, toasted garlic loaf, everything. 7 passed without a message. 8 arrived, still silence. I dined solo, stored her portion, and relaxed with casual streaming. She entered at 7:12 precisely. I checked my wristwatch at the sound. She wasn't unsteady from drinking. She was fully composed, which unnerved me more. Her gaze treated me as an outsider, someone she reluctantly cohabited with. I offered to warm her meal. She responded with a harsh, mocking chuckle. At 27, I'm existing like someone twice my age, she remarked, tossing her bag aside. I'm exhausted by domestic play acting. I'm done faking this suffices. I'm weary of you behaving as though we're an ideal pair, while I fade away inside. I remained composed, inquired what troubled her, suggested discussing her emotions openly. She interrupted, insisting no discussion was necessary, rejecting my logical problem-solving talks. Then came the act. She tugged off her wedding band, displayed it as proof of my wrongdoing, and uttered the phrase etched in my memory. This band represents my vanishing. She flung it forcefully toward my torso. It struck and dropped. That clatter on the floor rang louder than anything prior. Tonight I'm unattached, she announced, seizing her bag once more, warning me against waiting, calling, or interfering. She departed. I lingered perhaps 10 minutes, gazing at the entrance. Rage didn't surface. Sorrow didn't either. Instead came an odd sharpness, as if every shadow had vanished. In our home, before her own decisions, she had proclaimed her singleness. Not a break, not a pause, single. I collected the band, positioned it on the surface like courtroom material rather than a keepsake. Then I acted sensibly for someone in 2024. I began logging every detail. In my notes application, I chronicled the sequence. Entry time, recalled phrasing, ring toss, departure after claiming independence. I reviewed our cellular account, enabled call logging where legally allowed, confirmed automatic backups. I dialed her number. Voicemail immediately. After 20 minutes, another attempt, voicemail. 5th call near 9:30, she answered. Background noise flooded through. Pounding rhythms, voices yelling above tunes, male laughter nearby. She shouted what I wanted. I inquired her location and well-being. She scoffed, said a nightclub enjoying herself, something beyond my grasp. A man's voice murmured nearby, indistinct. She laughed lightly, repeated she wasn't my spouse tonight, free to act with whomever she chose. Call ended. I preserved logs, captured screens, secured copies. I settled on the sofa, simply inhaling. This exceeded disagreement or hardship. This constituted her solo choice to dismantle our union. She supplied her own record. Near 10:15, my device vibrated. A picture arrived. Rooftop venue, positioned amid two unfamiliar males. Arm draped over one, beverage raised, beaming widely. Text beneath, bet you wish you were more exciting. I examined it extendedly. Pain existed, yet more significantly, she'd voluntarily provided ammunition. I captured images, duplicated across locations, established time-stamped email storage. No reply sent, no outburst given, nothing for future leverage. Merely preserved. By 11 I sat at the table, computer open, searching Washington divorce lawyers. Located one well-regarded, experienced in contentious matters, known for efficiency. At 11:58 dialed his after-hours contact. He answered promptly, attentive. I summarized concisely. Wife discarded ring violently, proclaimed singleness, exited, forwarded image with strangers, stated unrestricted freedom. Mentioned audio, captures, dated records. Silence followed, then relief-inducing words. She handed you the complete argument, he noted, advising against deletions, limiting contact unless initiated by her, scheduling Monday, 8 a.m. office visit. I disconnected, fear dissolved, I was finished. She assumed this punished me, pictured returning to find me apologetic for dullness. Yet upon re-entry, proceedings would advance. That night, I rested more peacefully than in recent months, finally certain of my path. This segment revealed he refused pursuit or pleading. He recorded facts. Those 8-week signals formed no temporary dip. They built toward eruption. Declaring independence plus visual proof equals deliberate action, not error. She returned Sunday expecting dialogue. Machinery had started. Around 10:30 her key turned. Bag thudded hallway. Steps hesitated seeing me at table with mug and screen. Appearance disheveled. My makeup streaked. Locks tangled. Friday outfit unchanged. Attempted sheepish grin, as though minor spat over chores. Requested discussion, tone hesitant. I directed her to email. Confusion crossed her features. Phone withdrawn. Scrolling shifted expression dramatically. Eyes widened. Lips parted. She brandished device demanding explanation. Divorce filing. I sipped coffee calmly. Recalled ring toss and independence claim. I accepted her statement literally. Pacing ensued. Trembling hands. Insisting merely one evening. Spoken in fury without true intent. Calmly noted forwarded image with males plus taunting words. Recorded assurance of unrestricted actions. She halted, tone accusatory, recording labeled manipulative, reason for needing distance. I clarified recording versus manipulation distinction. Shifted tactic, seated opposite, extended hand. I withdrew mine. Admitted wrongdoing, feeling confined, lashing out impulsively, yet loving me, desiring preservation. I studied her truly, felt complete emptiness. Explained choices accumulated, discarding symbol, claiming freedom, socializing with others, supplying evidence. Tears intensified, questioned whether single error erased years, whether effort refused. Rose, emptied mug, countered who discarded years, you discarded the band. Saturday, 8 a.m. consulted counsel. Richard, 50s, tailored attire, rearranged weekend recognizing crisis. Presented materials. Ring floor images, dated entries, audio clip, message attachment, verbatim statements. He arranged items methodically, constructing courtroom material. Declared strong foundation. Highlighted sent image, self-declared independence plus self-recorded conduct. Reviewed finances. Lease solely mine. Full initial payment, ongoing bills from my funds. Joint accounts existed, primary income mine, hers roughly 60%. Childless, minimal shared possessions beyond typical furnishings. He noted diligently, assured electronic filing Monday dawn to preempt countermeasures. Foundation completed Saturday. Peculiar tranquility emerged. Action replaced endurance. Sunday post-arrival. Post tears /yells/please, stated facts. Lease mine, She must gather belongings. Stared blankly, questioned destination. Shrugged, reminded her craving autonomy, embracing singleness. Protested rights, inability to evict. Displayed lease, name prominent, payment history complete. Suggested friends, sibling, self-resolution, but residence ended. Insults flowed, accusations of harshness, vengeance, claiming unrecognizable spouse. Waited silently until exhaustion. Voiced long-held thought. The husband you knew would wait, pardon, tolerate mistreatment. That version vanished. She gathered suitcases weeping, drawer slamming, muttering future remorse. Immediately altered entry code, notified management, dismantled wedding images. Frames, vacation smiles, group celebrations, boxed, stored. Space expanded, purified, breath easier. Monday, Richard submitted filing digitally. Afternoon confirmed, Wednesday office delivery. Sister phoned furiously, public humiliation via workplace serving. Calmly redirected to counsel, disconnected. Blocked family contacts, initiating blame. Device flooded hour-long unknown messages. Accusations of error, haste, forgiveness duty. Erased all. Ever observe outsiders most opinionated on unfamiliar circumstances? Wednesday 4 p.m. lobby appearance. Desk alerted. Denied entry, informed unavailability. Descended knowing persistence. Elevator vicinity, effort evident. Styled hair, flawless face, favored dress. Face brightened hopefully upon sight. Approached pleading brief talk. Arms folded, speak freely. Inhaled, gathered words seeking breakthrough. Admitted awfulness, acknowledged fault, labeled one foolish evening, ending excessive. Unmoved, explained 8-week withdrawal, erased chats, late returns, culminating official declaration. Hand extended again. Stepped aside. Expressed terror. Losing me, solitude, ruining greatest possession. Tears genuine. Momentary flicker, nearly felt. Nearly. Grenade thrown. Rebuilding fragments impossible, I stated. Sobbing, questioned 4 years erased so simply. Affirmed exactly so. Ascended. She remained below. Window observation, 10 minutes lobby linger, then street departure via rideshare. Final message, future regret. Deleted, blocked, sofa seated. Silence enveloped space, first non-oppressive in months. Felt ownership. Thursday, Richard updated. Opposing counsel retained, seeking support, partial residence equity. Expected, queried feasibility. Chuckled, possible request, countered abandonment proof, independence claim, sole lease evidence. Preliminary 6 weeks away, prepare victim portrayal. Declared preparedness. Truly was. Assumed Friday destruction, weekend revelry, tearful return, compliance expected. Overlooked key fact, documentation specialist here. This illustrated craving unpunished disorder. Delivered responsibility. Tears surfaced, realizing consequences real. Family pressure, lobby theatrics, cruelty accusations. All history revision, dodging accountability. Hearing Thursday, 6 weeks post-filing. Attended suited, Richard armed, printed materials, judge's favor tangible. She arrived delayed 10 minutes. Counsel 30s appearing disinterested. Conservative attire, subdued cosmetics, restrained hair, classic injured spouse look. Opposite seating, avoided eye contact, murmured lawyer, tissue dabs. Judge mid-50s, direct manner, expedited formalities. Opposing counsel opened, portrayed me detached, hasty, divorce post-single dispute, evicted homeless wife, rejected repair efforts. Framed me abandoner. Richard presented methodically. Ring floor visuals, club call audio independence declaration, mocking image text. Objection attempted, non-consensual recording. Countered DC one-party rule verified. Judge studied image lengthy, addressed sender question. Nodded faintly, admitted sending, blamed intoxication/anger. Judge probed intended meaning behind singleness claim. Mail company. Began weeping, marriage confinement, space required, grave error. Judge unimpressed, weary. Inquired my reconciliation stance. None, trust irreparably shattered. Temporary rulings issued, residence mine, accounts paused, support deferred, mandatory single mediation pretrial. Opposing pushed temporary aid, housing lack. Richard noted voluntary exit post-singleness declaration, nearby relatives. Judge agreed. Court exterior, Attempted approach. Richard intervened. Attorney channels only. Over shoulder, reddened eyes. Truly emotionless? Silent departure. Following week's subtle online narrative. Lost posts. Shock. Character reveals. Supporters commented harshly. Non-engagement. Captures forwarded counsel precautionarily. Friends inquired truth. Brief account given. Ring discarded. Independence declared. Mail company. Proof sent. Filing followed. Few shocked. Some noted prior shifts. Withdrawal. Phone fixation gatherings. Acquaintance mentioned pre-incident bar sighting. Intimate behavior while I worked late. Regretted silence then. Messenger risk understood. Mediation 3 weeks post-hearing. Downtown room Monday. Participants. Myself, Richard, her, counsel, seasoned neutral facilitator. Process outlined. Trial avoidance. Cost/time savings. Opposing demands initiated. Half residence growth value. Retirement marital portion. Relocation/rent coverage. Richard offered. $15,000 lump approximating her shared expense input. Full waiver otherwise. Deemed insufficient. Richard emphasized abandonment. Pre-marriage lease exclusion. Extensive records. Break requested. Hallway conference. Richard advised firmness. Posturing. Weak position. Return. Direct conversation request. Mediator permitted upon agreement. Richard checked. I consented. Counsel reluctant, but silent. Across table, trembling. Any possibility remaining? Prepared mentally, yet impact lingered. Gazed at 4-year partner, future planner, stranger now. No, steady voice. Eyes shut painfully, reopened furious. Hatred declared loudly. Mediator uneasy. For abandoning, iciness, refusal effort. Unreactive, awaited completion. Understood, simplifies matters. Counsel restrained. Heavy breathing seated. Further break offered. Declined, conclude. Counter, $25,000 plus fees. Head shake. Maximum set, exceeded. Richard restated $15,000 final. Trial invitation, open court evidence. Wait registered. Another exit conference. Return defeated. Acceptance. Agreement executed on site. Witnessed. Property resolved. 60-day DC finalization. Check issued $15,000. Claims released. Separation official. Packing moment. Door pause. Lingering gaze memorizing or comprehending path. Departure. Richard handshake. Masterful handling. Most succumb manipulation. Thanks given. Balance cleared. Sunlight exit. Lighter burden. 60 days later court email. Marriage dissolved. Work desk receipt. Stared minute. Years concluded in file. Forwarded archive. Resumed tasks. Weekend rearrangement. Furniture shift. Fresh linens. Altered decor. Space mine. No relic. Resumed jogging. Halted post-marriage per her complaint. Solo Portland escape. No itinerary. Promotion arrived 3 months on. Previously sidelined by distraction. Existence reclaimed. Lived authentically. Dating queries met. No rush. Rediscovering self beyond spouse. Truth. Her absence unfelt. Stability/partnership concept missed. Individual not. Confirmed decision correctness. This narrative demonstrates respect/trust non-negotiable foundations. When actions prove disregard for shared life. Acceptance and proportionate response equals self-worth, not harshness. Recordings serve protection against narrative alteration, not vengeance. What are your thoughts on this account? Share below, like if it resonated, subscribe for additional true experiences.